Lomilomi for the spirit. So I'm just going to do Oli as protocol before we start. Kuni tamau nai tlai wai ale ale la wai lua kya elai tlani to papa wai ho to wai kini alai ai no nalo tai pa ta lo lo ma to pai mai pai ta le ho he mai he Hello, everyone. There was a 7-year-old boy who walked into my office with his mommy. And I knew him from before. He had always come to see Auntie with other things, but this time he had a sore tummy. And he didn't know what to do. The medical doctors didn't know what to do. And here he is, 7 years old, usually playing, walking around, and Mommy's carrying him with his blankie. I said, why are you here today? Oh, because he has a sore stomach. And we went to all the doctors. They sent us to one, then another, then another. And they didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, let's see what's going on. So, you know, little 7-year-olds sometimes are scared of going on a doctor's table, but he's been in my Lomi room before, but this time he didn't want to go. So we sat outside in the waiting room at my office, and as I touched his Wahine, his pico area, I felt something uneasy in his tummy, like an emptiness, like a loneliness. So I looked at the mom and I said, so what's going on? And I saw a vision of his dad, who I had never met, but I met. And she said, oh, Dad and I got a divorce recently. And this was his first time staying with his father by himself. And he had just come home, and then the sore stomach appears. So I talked to him, and I have my warm ili ili, which he usually likes to play with. I gave him a warm ili ili, and we put it on his tummy. And I talked to him, and I said, oh, so you went to see your daddy? And he goes, yeah. And I said, so how was it? He said, good. And I said, oh, so, you know, sometimes mommies and daddies have timeouts too, you know. And guess what? You get to see him again. It's only temporary timeout. And he said, oh, okay. So as we talked some more, Mom said, oh yeah, he doesn't always know how to express himself, as most young children don't. We don't know what we're feeling. All we know is there's something different, something wrong. So this one was in his tummy. And so I said, oh, Mom, maybe what you can do is go to the store on your way home and buy some crayons and markers, and when he comes back from Daddy's house, he can draw and tell you a story about what he did with Daddy. And I go, would you like that? He goes, yeah. So I said, okay. I said, how's your tummy? Is it still sore? I don't know. And he already was stretching out, not curled up. And I said, so I don't know means no, right? So there we are. And this is why we're all here. Because emotions, situations, things in our life do affect how we feel. It affects every cell in our body, every nerve, every ligament, every tendon, every organ in our body is affected by what's going on around us. My name is Leanna Wood. I am honored to have all of you here today. Especially my kumo, Auntie Mahelani, who will be speaking tomorrow on Ho'oponopono Pi'ala. About 10, 15 years ago, I met Auntie. And I was already doing Lomilomi. But my Lomi teacher would always say, Leanne, before you would work on somebody, always Ho'oponopono first. So my journey was, what's this about Ho'oponopono? Who's teaching Ho'oponopono? What's this about Ho'oponopono? I couldn't find a Ho'oponopono teacher. It went so down under that I couldn't find anybody. So finally, I found the right match with Auntie. And the light bulb, as I was telling her, Auntie, you gotta come, Auntie, you gotta come to Oahu, Auntie, you gotta come to Oahu. So, you know, I was kind of smart. I was like, oh, you know, I kind of go Big Island all the time, and I know people on Oahu need, so like, Auntie, you gotta come to Oahu. So as I sat in every class, I really, really indulged everything. And the light bulb went off and I went, oh my God. All this time I thought Ho'oponopono was about resolving conflict with other people in my life. When deep down inside, it's about me. It's about me being pono with myself so that nobody else around me can make me feel less of who I am. So that nobody or no place or event can make me feel sick, angry, unloved. If I love in here and in here, then nothing can take that away. Nothing can take that away. So mahalo, Auntie, for all the tools. As I started incorporating this in my practice with people, my mom changed address. As Auntie has taught me, we don't die, we only change address. We go to another place, just in another dimension, right? So they only die if we don't keep on talking to them. So she changed address about 6 years ago, and she started sending me all these women with cancer. I'm like, okay, Mom, what's the deal here? And I started looking for, way back when I kept on asking, there's gotta be a healing chant. There's gotta be a healing chant, right? And I'm like, where's this healing chant? And as I was working on my mom, I only knew chants from hula. So I said, well, there's gotta be something in there that I can use. So I started playing music and chanting and getting messages on people. And then it came to me that we are all healers in our own body. There is no healing chant. There is only the chant within us. That is who we are. And so my journey is to help guide you to being pono with who you are, your Wahine, your spirit. If you go back to the day you were born, the very first day you decided to come into this world, you were born already a beautiful, perfect spirit. Every single one of us was already here going, I know who I am. I know who I am. I love me. I came here because I love me. And then things happened. Events in our lives happened that affect us. We don't know where to put them. We put them here, we put them there, we put them here, we put it here, we put it here. Next thing you know, automatic, right? Human, automatic, we're just piling up, piling up, piling up, piling up, till the body goes kaboom. Oi, messages now coming out. Sickness, illness, disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol from stress. Why is he stressed? Emotions. Cancer, big emotions. Suppressed deep down inside. Gotta make one of it. Not acknowledging this part of you makes the journey a little bit longer, a little bit harder. You have to want to, and I know you guys all do because you guys are hungry. You have to want to. You have to want to be better. Not that we're all not perfect, no, but we all can be a little bit better. Things in our lives did happen. I'm a true example. I tell people, hey, I've been through the A, B, C's all the way down to Z. So when you come into my room and my table, nothing surprises me. Abused, badgered, C, D, E, all of this. I wanted to really make it right. Not for my mom, not for my dad, not for my ex-boyfriends. I wanted to make it right for me, so that I could walk into my happiness. And in the Auntie's classes, she says, everybody is here for one true purpose. I'm like, oh, what's that purpose? And not to the end of class. I'm like, what's the purpose of my life? Why am I here? Why am I here? I'm like, oh, I cannot wait for that answer. I've been waiting. Why am I here? Somebody tell me. And she simply says, to be happy. I'm like, is that it? Just that? I'm only supposed to be happy? Holy I was like, I'm supposed to be happy. Oh, well, that sounds easy, right? Easy, right? Oh, man. Why not so easy? How come? Oh, I got all these things on my mind. What am I going to do in my life? Where am I going to be? Oh my God, then there's this big one. Oh, you know, I had a gift this morning. My mom had a younger brother who was in Vietnam and just never got things set right. Lives in Wahine by himself. And I'm thinking, I don't know where the word community college is. I gotta figure this out. And I'm in my car thinking, I don't want to be late today. And there's my uncle right by my door in my driveway. I'm like, why are you here? Oh, all this hoo-hoo with money and family and this and that. I'm like, you know where Newark Community College is? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, good, because I don't know where it is, and he needed a ride to the bus stop anywhere. So here I am, thanks to my uncle. But you know, he was in the car all hoo-hoo about family, about money, about all of this, his brothers and his sisters, and I'm like, uncle, you know they love you. Oh no, they don't love me. You know I did it. I'm like, okay, we're not going there then. So you're gonna take that all with you, right? When you go. He goes, yep, I'm gonna take it all with me. I said, okay. So I knew a couple of people in Wahine that he loved. So I said, so how's so-and-so? I'm like, gosh, why did he come? Oh, that's because I'm teaching Lomilomi for the Spirit, and I'm supposed to help people figure it all out. So, all of this is what we look at immediately in our lives. Nowadays, right? So, yeah, I have an ex-boyfriend. Still comes in my dreams every now and then. X, Y, and Z. And I thought, my whole time I was with him for a crazy 7 years, I thought, okay, how come he can never say, I love you? How come he can only treat me this way? How come I gotta do everything? How come this and that? I said, one day I go, I gotta take a look at myself and fix myself first, and then see what I got left over. After I did, I never have him. That was the best thing I did. But he gave me the gift, the makana, of finding myself. That was the big mahalo for that one. Well, that's a big mahalo pao too. Okay, look, once we figure it all out, let's not go and relive it again. Let's be a little bit more akamai, right? Just like when you're cooking something at home. It don't come out right the first time, you can do something different the second time, right? Okay, so we're not going down that road. Okay. You know, people come into my office and I say, so, what's going on with you? What's going on in your life, you know? Oh, I got the aching back here, my neck's sore over here, my knees all bust up, all this stuff. I look on the intake form, oh, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, all this stuff, right? And I go, oh, what are you going to do about this now? So many people, and going back to my mom, I went to watch her get chemotherapy one day. It's like a train station. So many people going in and out. And then my sister, she had to go get dialysis. That's another train station. I said, you know, there's gotta be more than just going to Western medicine. There's got to be more than that to help us heal. So here I am. Core issues, not even in here. Not even in the most immediate. You gotta go deep. You gotta dive for the good fish. Okay. The one that's with the soft meat, ono, hard for fine. Because we're so good at burying things. So good. So, one example is I had a young girl come in and she says to me, oh yeah, I'm having problems with my boyfriend. I just broke up with him and my mom's got cancer and she's not doing good, she's sick, and all this pressure on her was building up. So I said, so what happened in your relationship? What's going on there? Why did you, what's the pilikia with this guy? What's wrong with the relationship? Oh, he's this, then that. So for example, he doesn't treat me right, he fooled around, and he also just only gives to other people but doesn't give to me, and all these different things. So I took that list of the most immediate. I said, so, can you think of anyone else in your life who made you feel this way the very first time you felt this way? She says, yeah. I said, so who would that be? She said, my dad. I said, really? So, the core issue is not here. Core issue is past experiences that made you feel unworthy of who you are, or lacking anything. Made you feel bad. It's all one word, pilikia, as Auntie says. No need the Webster's dictionary. It all follows under one word. Okay? Too many words. Just like too many hands in the salad gets spoiled, right? So, too many words. So how do we fix this, right? We don't want to hold on to it now that you know about it, right? Okay, everybody in here, now that you know, you have no reason not to know, okay? So what are we going to do about it? We're not going to just get in the car, turn it on, and go, okay, I just going to stay in here and enjoy the air conditioning. We want to go someplace, right? We want to go to the beach. We want to go hiking. We want to go, my favorite place, Ross. Okay, so how do we get there? How do we get to the oki? How do we get to the oki? Sounds easy, right? Exactly. What was that?
Forgiveness, Ihiana.
Aye. Forgiveness. Now, my Kumo over here, she's kind of smart because, you know, I buy all kinds of books, you know. I got a whole big stack full of self-help healing books that I love. All the way from Louise Hayes to Wayne Dyer and all these people that I love. But she keeps it real simple for me because, you know, I'm a simple person. Too many words, they talk. Easy. One thing to remember. Forgiving is for saving. Very good. You guys are fast. You guys all took our class already. It's very simple. This is about you. It's your lifesaver. It's your own lifesaver. Okay? It's pulling your own weight in the boat. It's peeling off your own layers. So when somebody gets you all pissed off, that's called a trigger. Whenever you get those triggers, just go, oi. That's my makana, my gift for me to look inside of me. Okay? That's my makana, my gift. How I choose to look at it is important. Because if you get all pissed off at them, they're going to get pissed off at you. Nothing gets resolved. So, bring this trigger into your heart. Be humble. Be ha'aha'a. Be aloha. Be loving. Loving to yourself. They may not want to go down that road with you, but that's okay. Because as I've learned, when you start feeling good about who you are, there's those that follow that road with you and those that want to stay on the side. And that's okay. It's not your kuleana. It's not your kuleana. Okay? So, there's several different things about forgiving. Okay, so true story, my life. I had this beautiful stepfather who gave me so many gifts that I love him to this day. It finally took me only maybe 10 plus times to forgive him. But the beautiful thing is that you can keep on doing it. You know? I don't know how to play volleyball very good, but I bet if I practice, I'll be better. I don't know how to cook all the time very good, but if I practice, I'll be better. I don't know how to forgive all the time. And I used to tell Auntie, you mean I gotta forgive him again? Oh my gosh, how many times? Then I finally figured it out. You have the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Right? And here's my little KP stick figure. Okay, my curly hair. It's curly without the down. Oh gosh. So here I am at 30, 40 something. And I'm going, okay, I can forgive. So this is me. And I'm conscious about it. Saying, yeah, I want to forgive him. I want to move on. I don't want to have this in my relationship anymore. I don't want to bring this in my life because the law of attraction says that we will keep on attracting it unless we let it go. Who created that law? I'm going to ask you that question next time. But it does happen over and over and over again if we don't completely oki. Not kind of sort of oki. Not, oh yeah, and I went okay that long time ago. Really? Then why are you still talking about it? Then why is it still coming up in your life? And I'm so sassy. I did it. So, then I forgave again. That was about when I was maybe, I want to say, 16 to 20-ish, around there. That's when I forgave again. I call it subconscious. When I was 20, I was. I don't think I was all here. I was at Spats and Silly's, and back then we had good nightclubs. So. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay. I forgive him again. Fire. I was in my higher consciousness when I was young. I knew who I was. I had to forgive him so many times because I was at a different place each time I did. And it's okay. It doesn't always have to be right the first time. But when I did, I can see him now and say hi and really mean it. And give him hugs and run into him in Marokai, and he's even helping me get groceries for my nishime that my mom used to make all the time. That I never know how to make. But when we forgive in different levels, then our cells, our ligaments, tendons, muscles, our EV, our bones. Our bones. What is our bones? Why do we treasure our bones so much in the Hawaiian culture? Because it has what?
They store everything.
They store. That's right. They store everything. This is my friend. Great Lomilomi teacher. The EV stores everything. So when our ancestors passed away, we saved them for safekeeping because we knew they would protect, guide us no matter what. But if you look deep down inside the bones, the EV, call this the kuamo'o, the spine, ancestral lineage. If you look deep down inside, there's all these little bone marrows that hold the DNA of your ancestor lineage. Now DNA is going real deep. That's deeper than where we just went. Okay? But sometimes we have to oki ourselves to help our ancestors oki too. And when we do oki, we help the ancestors of our past, ourselves, and a generation for the future. I had a 70-year-old tutu come in, and I was working on her, and she had been abused as a child. She had some health ailments. I can't remember what it is because she never come back after I worked on her. She was all good, but I said, oh, so let's oki that, let's clear that, you know, so do some chants and mo'olelo. And she forgave. And she says, you know what's funny? She said, I never abused my kids. But my kids and my grandkids have all chosen abusive relationships. So I said, oh, and we gotta oki the DNA. That whole feeling of what happened back, you can hold it up to 7 generations. Look at over 7. Hold it up to 7 generations back. Okay? So I don't mind forgiving for our 7 generations back. Not if it's going to help my whole family. Because if this kuamo'o goes up into the heavens and down to the aina, then guess what? I'm healing my ahupua'a too. And everybody in it. I went to Nanakuli. Okay, so I just met my real dad, like 7 years ago. And he lives in Nanakuli. And I always wanted to go on the Hokulea. And so my friends who have been on it said, Leanne, hey, they're going to do a short trip from Nanakuli back to where Hokulea was in Staten Island. You want to go? And I go, shoot, I'm there. So my dad drives all the way from Nanakuli to pick me up in Waikiki, where I live, and takes me back to Nanakuli so I can catch a boat back. Not any boat. The most awesome mana full boat ever designed. Because that boat has mana. Nainoa had been, it was held at Mrs. Cash's house. Nainoa had been there for 2 days doing mo'olelo with the ohanas. Anybody who wanted to come over there. And the kulea was docked right outside Nanakuli. And everybody was going on, jumping off, and all the kids were having a great time. And Mrs. Cash said in her presentation, that was the first time she had seen coolers that were not filled with green and brown bottles. So ono for respect. So I went on the boat after we oli, Keone Nunes did the oli, and I went on the boat, and we were all on there. And I looked back into Nanakuli Valley, and it was a beautiful sunny day when it first started. I looked back in Nanakuli Valley, and it was all dark. The ua was coming down, cleared the valley, cleared the valley. Just a beautiful cleanse. We had chicken skin, and all the nai'a was swimming right on the side of us. And it was just beautiful. So cleansing can happen in more ways than one. It is your intention. So the oli I just did, there's an oli I learned from hula. Before you enter oli kahea, before you enter into hula class, you gotta learn it, otherwise you can't go in. It's opening up the passageway for Pele, his sister, to cross to go to the bridge to Wailua. I started using that oli when I work on people. It was my intention to open the doorways for them, the path to clear, the path to bring the light in. Whatever is dark is light, right? So that's why we have day and night, right? So when I did that, it was important when you do anything is to set your intention. Very important. So that's a juicy mouthful. Anybody got any questions or comments right now before I move on?
How do you look at forgiveness? How do you look at forgetting? Not the forgiveness. That part of the forgetting, whatever. Yeah, because you say to forgive and forget, and I'm not sure whether or not one works before the other or both have to work simultaneously.
So the question is, how do you forgive and forget? Because one works simultaneously. It's like the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? One thing I know about forgiving is you have to forget. My dad, who was kind of smart now that I know him, one day I was having an issue with my partner. And my partner was, Auntie taught us how to kanawai mo'akaka, create all that you desire in your life. So by my partner and I guess we were having difficulties, I didn't know at the time. And he wrote in his day planner, mahalo for all these women in his life that wasn't me. And I'm like, in his day planner, trying to write down our schedule so we can be together in certain things. And I went to where he was singing. And I said, hey, what is this? I said, if you're going to create something, create us to have a porno relationship, not you go have some other fling with 2 other girls, you know. And so I talked to my dad about it, and he goes, Bebe, if you're going to forgive him, you got to forget. You cannot bring it up ever again. And I said, oh, okay. Can I forgive him? Okay, I can. Can I forget? Sure. You know why? It was just in writing. If he had done the real thing, I would have said no way. But the old belief system of you can forgive and not forget is old. Old belief system.
You mentioned it as you discussed when you completely, and that's the key word.
Yes.
Completely open is powerful.
Yeah.
And you feel it, truly feel it inside. You can let go. And it feels wonderful.
It's about replacing. It's about replacing. It's about replacing the issue that you may have had. And then the makana, the gift is that you replaced it. And now what you have is the gift of having had that experience. That's number one. So that the experience does not get repeated. That you want to be sure it does not get repeated. The energy of that is power. It is always about mahalo, power. Been there, done that, we power.
Can you replace that? With happy thoughts? Who said that? You can't fly if you don't have happy thoughts. Peter can't fly if he has. You have to have your magic fairy dust. My magic fairy dust is called ocean.
Yes.
It's called going to the ocean and swimming and letting it all go. And going, okay, you know what? I have more happy thoughts than other thoughts. So why would I drown myself in the unhappy thoughts about it all, right? Yeah. Have more Kodak moments. Have more aha moments. Yeah. It does take practice sometimes because we are so patterned with all the pilikia on the news. Oh my God, people like to watch all those shows with drama. They're so patterned that way. They only want to report the bad stuff. It's about re-patterning, reprogramming, creating a new recipe, deciding, okay, I want to be different. I want to, as Auntie says, helika olelo, walk the talk. Yeah? And then also look at yourself as an example for other people. And be that example. And the other thing is, if you're pono within yourself, you will attract pono. You will. You will. Like, oh, how come all this stuff happening to me? And all of a sudden, somebody came to me and I said, well, because you still haven't completely okied it. This is a heart of forgiveness. It's a heartful forgiveness within yourself. It's a contract that you make with yourself. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to go any place fancy. Just go into a peaceful place in your mind and say, I can forgive. And what I like to do is write a forgiveness letter. And you can write it to that person, but don't forget to put the action. Because really, it's not about the person you're forgetting. It's about the action that made you feel the way you felt about that event. How did it make you feel? Because sometimes you say, oh yeah, I can forgive my stepfather, but it wasn't about him. It was about how he made me feel. So don't forget to include that. Because those feelings are the things that change this, the kumo'o. Changes every color of cell in your body. You know? A lot of times in the DNA, like I said, we're holding things back. So many different generations. So include that in your forgiveness letter too. Whoever made me feel this way, and my ohana. Just so that you can just start off with a clean slate. Set everything to pono. And then burn that letter. Burn the letter. My girlfriend goes, so Lee, I'm going to do my forgiveness letter. Should I do a oli while I'm doing it? I go, you can, sis, but you know me, I just have a glass of wine and I go, woohoo! I am done.
I can picture
So, you know, I believe in tradition, but I also believe that the tradition is meant for us to carry on, be happy, but do things in the way that it can affect you. Whatever way makes you feel pono about doing it. Yeah. You know? It doesn't, protocol is good to have, but don't get caught in too much of that stuff. Okay? As long as you are doing pono, walking pono, your intentions are pono. So yeah, my intention was pono, and I'm having my glass of wine and watching the thing burn. I'm fine. Oh.
What happened to the noni juice?
Oh my God, noni! Oh gosh, I had noni from Papa David Kalakea on the Big Island, and that taste stayed with me for days. I was burping noni juice.
Okay, Leanne, that's enough of that.
Yeah, be healthy about it if you want. But one glass of wine is antioxidant.
Especially if it's red wine.
Yeah. So listen, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, perspective is everything. So speaking of perspective, right? This is so cool. Once you forgive, your perspective changes. Oh. So that guy honking his horn at me on the freeway. Oh. Poor guy. He must be horny. I hope to get some tonight.
I never.
But isn't that a better way to look at it? Okay, so the funny thing.
Maybe he does want some.
I think not me. Not me. Honey.
trying to get your attention.
Well, that's what the finger was for. But you know, your perspective will change. It will. Like I tell people when I'm working on them, you will leave with a new set of eyes. Okay? You will leave with a new set of eyes. Because your perspective will change. And when that changes, the law of attraction changes for you to Pono. I gotta tell you though, there's a danger in all of this. There's a big danger in all of this. If you're not careful, you start liking yourself. You start loving what you're doing. Other people around you are going to see you changing. And I think, oh, Leanne, she thinks she's all out. No, I'm not. Do you choose to walk with me, or do you choose not to? The danger is you may lose a few, but you may gain a whole bunch. You know? So you have to be ready for that change. Be ready for that change. And it feels good.
That's part of the makana, though.
That's part of the makana.
That's part of the makana, the gift that you get by recognizing something and making that change.
Exactly.
And that's from not getting hurt anymore. So it is a makana.
It is a makana.
Yeah, the danger is really a makana.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't want to use that word, but it's just a caution. I want you guys all to know that when I first took Auntie's class, I'm like, oh, all these changes. And when she told me hold on to your slippers, I never knew that's what she meant. But it is a journey that takes you to happiness, a higher place, a place that you love who you are, and you love your family, no matter what. And you love your job, no matter what. Or maybe you don't love your job and you now know who you are, and you say, you know what, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do this, this, and this anyway, but I'm going to have a plan to get out of here and be something that I want to be. And do what I love. Maybe I woke up one morning and say, I know what my gifts are, my innate gifts. And everything's going to just follow me all along like a school of fish. They're all going to follow me. Every single one of us has ancestors, angels, guides. They're all here waiting for you to ask them. What am I supposed to be doing? Can you help me out here? But we forget to listen. You ask the question and you forget to listen. That's the big cell phone in the sky. It's free. Free mobile. It's the big cell phone in the sky. People tell me, well, you know, Leanne, I can't see spirits, so I don't know what they're saying. I go, you don't need to see them. You'll just get a message, a feeling, an intuition. Yeah. Well, if you can't see it, doesn't mean you can't believe it, right? Because I know we all have a cell phone, possibly, most of us, and we can't see the wires, but we trust that we're going to get a call. We trust that it's going to ring. So why can't we trust in our Wahine, in our nakupuna? It's so simple. Unless your battery broken. Or you swim with it like me and the battery really was broken. So, I think that everyone in here has a beautiful journey. I'd like to leave you with a I like to leave you with a short meditation if you all want to join in. Huh? So just make yourself comfortable, close your eyes, and good. Maybe we can turn on the lights more. And this is a healing journey. This is something that I do in my office when I work on people after we do the oki. It's called a keiki kiakahi. It takes you to a beautiful place on this big island for me. But go to a place wherever you want to go. So close your eyes. I want you to see yourself on top of a beautiful mountain. You look up and you see a beautiful rainbow, letting you know that all your guardians, angels, guides, ancestors are all here. And this is a safe place for you to go. As you look down the side of that mountain, you see a beautiful lake. And this lake has the reflection of the sun sparkling like 1,000 stars, 1,000,000 stars in the sky. And you walk towards that lake. As you get closer and closer, your body gets lighter and lighter, completely weightless. And you look down into that water, and you see a reflection of yourself on the day you were born. And your mom and dad are holding you in their arms, saying, I love you. I love you so much. Please forgive us in advance for not being the perfect parents that you needed us to be. Just always know in your heart that we love you more than our own lives. That we love you so much to give this life to you. And we thank you for bringing your love and your light into our lives. We thank you for teaching us. We thank you for being with us. And for your makana, your gift. And now, at the age of 2, see yourself in that reflection with your beautiful smile and say, I love you. I know who you are. I know who I am. And no one is going to change this. No one is going to make me feel less of who I am or what I am. And now, at the age of 7, hey, oh my, hey, Timai no hoi. See yourself. Say, I love you, and I am beautiful, and my spirit is powerful, and I resonate this beauty inside me. And no one can change this. No person, place, or event can manipulate my spirit. For it is pa'a, it is po. And I know in my heart and in my spirit. And now, at the age of 13. Look at yourself and say, I stand in my light, 110%, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And I know who I am. And I love knowing